Hi, it's fantastic June 1st in Coto de Caza, Orange County, California. I'm on San Miguel on the way to our golf course, and here we have this beautiful array of yellow flowers. This is known as silver leaf gazania, or Gazania tomentosa. It comes to us from South Africa. It's a weed. You find it growing from the sands to the alpine meadows. Now this plant is simply described as a very hardy, sun-loving ground cover, thick blanket of silvery gray leaves, topped off with pretty yellow flowers. It's a great ground cover. You find this a lot in wide open areas, along medians and sidewalks, like we have here. It's great in coastal settings and in poor soils. It's very resilient, drought tolerant. It needs very little water and very little fertilizer. Prefers very sunny locations, like in Coto de Caza. It loves direct sun. All right, so let's take a closer look at the leaves here. Okay, so the stems and the leaves, they're more or less erect, stiff and upright. They're about 6 inches long, maybe 8 inches long. It's silvery gray, okay, or greenish on top, more so, and little duller on the bottom, or like a glauca color. Now they're lance-shaped, and they're woolly or hairy, okay? And that's how it gets its name tomentosa, because tomentosa means woolly or hairy. Now there's several cultivars of this plant, and this one is a trailing plant, or a trailing Gazania tomentosa. All right, so it spreads out really easily, but the seeds are not fertile or viable, so you can get this beautiful look without spreading this around like a weed. Okay, so let's take a look at the flowers here. All right, here's a good one. So these flower stalks, they grow about 6 to 10 inches tall. Now this comes from the Asteraceae family, so it's an aster. It's related to our sunflowers and our daisies. And this is not one flower, it's actually many, many flowers in one. And in the center, here, we have what's called disc flowers, and those contain all the stamen, the anthers, and the pollen. The outer, out here, these are called ray flowers, and they form what's called a marginal floret. This encircles and protects the disc flowers inside, and they're also great at attracting, pollinators, okay? And the flower sits in what's called a receptacle down here. So that's our beautiful little flower. We get, I don't know, hundreds or thousands of these flowers growing up here, and the flowers will grow from spring all the way through fall. Okay, now the flowers, they close at night, and they kind of open up in the morning. On cloudy days, they don't open up as much, but on sunny days, holy moly. Just look at that. Wow. Okay, so there's several varieties of Gazania tomentosa. We have what's called double gold that has double flowers. It blooms all summer. We have Tiny Tim. It's super neat and compact, and that flowers almost all year. And there's Sahara Gazania tomentosa, and that's fast-growing, large, bright flowers, which bloom, of course, most of the year. And there's 16 total different species of Gazania. There are lots of hybrids and cultivars. You get these from shades of yellow to orange, different patterns. Some are more erect and some are less. And to maintain this plant, you basically do nothing, all right? You just clean out any dead leaves, the stems or flowers, keep it tidy. It needs very little water and, of course, very little fertilizer. All right, and to propagate it, let's take a look over here. So to propagate it, what you can do is you carefully dig a circle around the plant. Just kind of find a clump down that might represent one plant. Okay? You remove that clump from the soil, and you carefully divide all the smaller sections. You get at least 3 or 4 healthy individual roots, and you put it in a potting mix, and you prepare it for your garden. And cuttings, you could also take a cutting at the very base of the plant. Okay? You get at least 3 3 to 5 shoots. You plant them in a good quality potting mix, keep it in direct sun. And once they get established, you just replant them in the spring. So after you separate your plant, or you buy your plant from your local nursery, you just plant it like this configuration here. Plant them in rows or a little zigzag, about 18 inches or 2 feet apart, and you put them in a mulch covering. You water it, it grows a little faster, but it doesn't need watering. These guys will grow quite nicely, and then they'll trail out and basically fill in this whole cluster here. How about that? It's a great pollinator, and sometimes we have just tons of bees on this plant. Wow. All right, here we go. Here's a bee right here. He's doing his job. He's in that little disc flower getting out the pollen. And I said this is a trailing gazania, but it might not be. I'm not really sure. Okay. Gazania tomentosa. It's a great ground cover for your garden. And it's also really pretty. Oh, hey, one more thing. This weed is so successful. Look at this little guy. This weed is so successful that no other weeds or plants can really grow inside it. So there you go. Beautiful ground cover and weed control. How about that? All right. Thanks for watching my video. Have a great day.